How's it going, guys? Coffee here. Today I wanted to go over the first of the endgame builds for the Gas Arrow Deadeye. I've pushed this not even that far, to be honest, only like level 75. I haven't really had that much playtime, but this is kind of the first progression of kind of where you push this after you end up hitting and finishing your Ascendancy. The first thing is that as soon as you do finish your third ascendancy, you do end up want to respec your wind ward over here into endless munitions for that massive damage increase for the extra projectile. You will pick up wind ward again later as soon as you finish your fourth ascendancy, but you don't really need it right now. The big thing that we are adding to the build, which I know is very expensive right now, it's about 4 divines, is Queen of the Forest. With Queen of the Forest here, you'll see even in town here, I'm sitting at 38,000 evasion here, which is about 76% movement speed. If we actually get to Tailwind here and we actually do a dodge, you'll see that, here, we'll actually go ahead and send this up here. As soon as we get going with 10 stacks here and an actual dodge, we're sitting at 89%, or 89.6% rather, 94% after we actually dodge here on our movement speed. So what that means is that, yeah, you do things very quickly. You map very quickly, you move very quickly, and we know that movement speed is defense in this game, since if things can't hit you, or if they can't get near you, they can't hit you. So you can really use this to your advantage. It does really help, and it so far has been the best option I've really seen on this build. And it's been really, really fun, right? I mean, moving around quickly after being stuck moving really slow for a long time feels incredibly satisfying. Main thing you do need to look out for if you're going to get one of these is make sure that the runes on it are going to be able to have this increased armor and evasion or increased evasion runes here that you're going to want here. For your helmet, it doesn't really get that much evasion, so this is the one slot that you can probably get away with using a worse rune in. That's fine. But for your boots and your gloves, you're going to want to get basically at least 600 evasion on each if you can. Along with attack speed on your gloves, and then just as much resistances in life as you can get on both. You're going to be hard pressed on your res here because of the fact that you are using the runes here, right? You are using evasion runes instead of resistance runes. The big mods to really look out for on your necklace, you do want to make sure that you get this % increased evasion rating mod. This is again, you can honestly get these all once you actually buy the chest for 4 divines. I paid under 10x for every other piece of gear that I have on, so that stuff is at least fairly inexpensive once you get it. But you're pretty much just got to get that evasion on every piece of gear. On your rings, you can get evasion that goes up to 203. So try to find something like 195 plus that has also, again, resistances and then some flat damage if you can get it. That's always nice. If not, then just get what you can afford for now. I didn't feel like spending a ton of money after I bought the chest. So I just kind of got myself in there with a little amount of money. So my bow is the same bow that I had before. I got this right around 65. Nothing changes there. Yeah, everything's pretty much the same. Just as much damage as you can get on a bow, period. On a dual string bow. And then, again, if it has fizz rolls on it, then you would obviously use the fizz runes. And if it doesn't, you just use the lightning runes instead. For your quiver, most important mods you want to go for is ensure that you are getting the projectile speed, and then attack speed, and then whatever flat damage you can. Any other offensive sets you can get, like again, more flat damage, whatever. The reason for why your quiver is so important is you do have this master fletching node here, which is giving you 80% increased bonuses from your quiver as soon as you actually spec this. I need to actually finish specking this last point, but there's that. And then for your jewels here, you want to just make sure you are getting the % increased evasion speed, along with, again, if you can get it, attack speed or bow damage. Anything like that's helpful. If you don't want to spend any money on extra things, just literally buy the evasion rating, like blue ones, and roll them. Maybe you get lucky or whatever. I ended up getting decently lucky on these. I at least got like attack speed or something useful on pretty much all of them, except this one is only 5% projectile damage, which is, I mean, it's still nice. It's not nothing, but it's kind of whatever. Other than that, you're basically just taking every single percent evasion node you can possibly get. So I dropped these early projectile damage nodes here. Instead, we path here through the evasion rating. Pick these up. We are grabbing this entire evasion wheel over here for evasion rating when on full life, and just a bunch of different 15% evasion rating nodes. Same thing on both sides of this. We grab both of these. We path up here in order to get the Falcon technique here. And then we path over this way to get the Coming Calamity. Still on the tree here. We finish this entire wheel just because we want all the evasion we could possibly get. We do drop acrobatics at this point. That is important to remember. You don't want to use this, or again, you're going to be losing almost all the evasion rating that you're gaining. So, and then again, grab this jewel socket up here. You want to push down here, make sure you get this attack speed and the damage. You pick up Feathered Fletching here because we are getting quite a bit of actual projectile speed here. If we actually look here, I think we're at 103% projectile speed here, right? So this is 103% damage node. Very, very important, very, very big. You still don't want Pierce the Heart. It does break your ability to shock properly with Stormcaller Arrow. So avoid getting Pierce here. Avoid getting Pierce on your quiver as well. It's important to ensure you don't get one of those quivers that has piercing on it, or it does kind of break your ability to shock and get those big, massive, like 38% shocks with Stormcaller Arrow. So keep that in mind. We do end up taking Exploit here. Next steps I'm going to end up pathing is basically pathing down here, grabbing this LE pen on Forces of Nature, grabbing Emboldened Avatar, and then going to be grabbing the Jewel Socket over here. For the Anoint, I just went with a really, really cheap Anoint here. This Battle Hardened here, which is basically just armor evasion rating, less crit damage taken, and then a little bit of strength and dex. This thing I think costs like 3x only to make. So good, cheap Anoint. I'm sure there's better things out there, but for now I just wanted to get something that was up and running. I know the chest itself is not inexpensive, so that does kind of ruin the majority of things, but you can still kind of go with a focus on just getting a lot of evasion early on. You can still just do the same thing with a lot of evasion with acro. Just make sure you actually have movement speed on your boots. If you want to kind of like prepare for this build in the future, but you don't have a Queen of the Forest yet, you can go that route and just take your acro for your defenses in the meantime while you work on farming up the money required to get your Queen of the Forest. Yeah, other than that, I can kind of show you what it looks like. Here to have all this resistances. I realized I accidentally forgot to go and do the Bog Witch, so I figured I was just going to record that and go and get that real quickly here. And then we'll just kind of take it from there, and then I'll leave some footage of some bosses or something after that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just run here, and you can kind of just see what it looks like to actually have 90% movement speed, because it kind of makes a difference quite a bit to, again, ensure that you are not having to stop on anything. The 0% dodge thing here makes a pretty big difference, so that's really, really nice. And then, yeah, let's go chase down this boss real fast and see how quickly we can go blow her up. I did have basically zero issues doing the third trial in Sekama's, so I'm expecting, you know, the damage is doing well enough for the kind of like crappy bow that I have. You know, a new bow is probably the next upgrade that I'm definitely going to want to be looking for here. But we'll just have to kind of wait and see, I guess, what comes. I'm still, I have a filter here. I basically added them to my NeverSync filter. I can show you how to do that if you guys want to actually add the dual string bows to your filter and make them show a little different. I can kind of show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and get to this boss first, and then we'll actually go over how to do that here in a second. I'll actually just link that down below. I will showcase it at the end of this as well, but pretty much you just want to ensure that you are always attacking to try to keep up your tailwind stacks when you're actually navigating around, at least like once every few seconds. And then you can, again, just ensure you're dodging still. That will get your evasion rating up as well. I think the boss is going to be this way and I missed her. This is my guess here. I've like done this zone like a handful of times now, just because I've leveled up a bunch of different characters with friends now, which is why I don't have any character that's super really far into the game. Just because I've been kind of lazy and leveling up a bunch of stupid stuff, but yeah, you can kind of get a feel for what that looks like on that. This boss is kind of silly. There's the 35% shot. I mean, this boss isn't supposed to be hard, but that was easier than maybe even we thought it would be. Cool. So, last thing I wanted to show as well is basically how to, if you take NeverSync's filter here, you can actually just go in and add this under your value errors that you want to see. I just added it under the errors. You can put this anywhere, it doesn't really matter. You just basically add this here. So BaseType, you just take whatever, you can copy paste this other one, just put BaseTypes here, and then you can set the text color. My text color should probably be like dark instead of light, but my text color will be this, which should be very close to black if I recall. And then yeah, now that you have this, you'll be able to see your items in your filter much better. I can kind of show you. Let me go grab a bow here. But yeah, if you have any questions about the build, leave them in the comments down below. And other than that, I will see you in the next one. Here, let's showcase the bow first. Oh, it doesn't want to show anything in my stash. I guess I killed my game. Yep. Alright, that's where it is. I'll leave this in the description. See you guys next time.